Hello and welcome back. In this video, we'll talk about why your Shopify breadcrumbs don't work and, of course, how to fix it. So, when Google crawls your store, it needs to understand how your products are organized. Which category does this product belong to? What is the parent category? How does everything connect? And the same applies to AI systems such as ChatGPT, Gemini. So, when somebody asks for a product recommendation from these systems, the systems need to understand your catalog structure to give accurate answers. And breadcrumbs are one of the clearest signals that you can send. They tell both visitors and search engines exactly where a page sits in your hierarchy. And the problem is that Shopify's default breadcrumb system is limited. It does not support multi-level hierarchies and it does not generate reliable schema markup. So in this video, I will show you how breadcrumbs work in Shopify, what are these limitations, and how to build proper hierarchical breadcrumbs using Risify. I will use Bad.no, a Norwegian home improvement store, as a live example to walk us throughout this video. So, in a standard Shopify store, breadcrumbs follow a simple structure. There is home, there is collection, and then the product. And when you navigate through your store, homepage to a collection to a product, Shopify builds the breadcrumb based on that path. And this works perfectly well if we talk about a simple store with a flat structure. But in reality, most stores are not flat. They have categories, subcategories, and sometimes 3 or 4 levels of organization. Let's take a look at our example store's menu. So they have a main category called bath. Inside of bath, they have a bathroom interior. And inside bathroom interior, they have specific product types such as vanity cabinet, mirror cabinet, and others. And this is a 3-level hierarchy, which consists of parent collection, child collection, and then the products. And ideally, the breadcrumb should reflect this full hierarchy. However, there are 2 main limitations with Shopify's default breadcrumb system. First, there is no multi-level hierarchy, so you cannot build breadcrumbs like home, parent, collection, sub-collection, product without custom code or an app. And second is that the breadcrumb can change depending on how visitors arrive to that page. You can navigate through collection A and then the breadcrumb shows collection A. You navigate through collection B to the same products and then the breadcrumb shows collection B. Or if you arrive from Google, you might see a fallback collection that does not match your intended structure. And the good news is that Risify solves both of these problems or limitations. You can define explicit breadcrumbs path with as many levels as you need. And those paths display consistently regardless of how visitors reach that page. And now let me show you how to set up breadcrumbs in Risify app. So in your Shopify admin, go to apps and then select Risify and click on navigation. This is where you configure breadcrumbs paths for collections and for products. So let's say we would like to configure the cars collection. So we press on these 3 dots, we click on edit breadcrumb, and I'll just remove the old items in the path. So here in the field, you should type and find all the items that should be in the breadcrumb path. For example, cars. And then you click add 3 items. And you should make sure that the order is correct. So first it should be home, then the category, subcategory. Here, by dragging this, you can change the order, and by clicking this cross, you can delete. And in this preview section, you can see the order, and before saving it, make sure the order is correct. And at the end, when you press save, the path is configured. I will just press cancel in my case, and you should repeat this for all the collections and for all the products. It's good to keep the paths consistent, so 2 or 3 levels is usually ideal. And now let's come back to our example store and see how the breadcrumb is working when everything is configured. So for example, let's go to this product page. So here you can see that the breadcrumb contains the full hierarchy. It has home, category, subcategory, and then the product. And each level is clickable, so the visitor can navigate back up the hierarchy at any level. And this path stays consistent no matter how visitors reach this page, whether they browse through collections, search on the site, or arrive from Google. And now let's talk a little about verified schema. Breadcrumb is one part of it, the schema markup is the other, and Risify generates breadcrumb list schema automatically from the paths that you define. Let me quickly verify this with Google's rich results test. So I am pasting the product URL from BadNo website and running the test. So in the results, the breadcrumb list shows with a green check mark, which means that the schema is valid. If I expand the breadcrumb list, I will see the exact path that Google is reading. We can see here that home is at a position 1. Under position 2, we have the collection. And then under position 3, we have the subcollection. The names here are in Norwegian since it's a Norwegian website. So in the case of this example store, we can see that what visitors see on the page matches what Google reads in the schema. And both come from the same definition in Risify app. So to summarize, Shopify's breadcrumb system is limited to a flat structure, and it can change depending on how visitors arrive to that page. Risify lets you build proper multi-level breadcrumb hierarchies. You define the path once in the admin, and it displays consistently on every visit. And the schema is generated automatically, so Google reads the same structure that the visitors see. If you want to set it up, you can find Risify app in the Shopify App Store. In the next episode, I will cover FAQ schema and how to get rich results in Google. Thanks for watching.